Hey guys, it's Richard at Altfins with another market update. Today we're seeing some green on the screen, seeing a bounce after several days of downward action. But overall, the momentum is bearish and turned bearish recently. We can take a look at that in just a minute. But before I do that, let me just mention that if you're serious about making money trading altcoins, check out our trading education curriculum, which includes 10 webinar lessons with notes, where we teach 7 trading strategies that you can use on the Altfins platform. And also, these lessons are basically real trading sessions. So let's get back to the market here. The markets have given up much of the gains from the prior weeks. Remember, we had a huge upswing in momentum that started a few weeks ago. We can take a look at Ethereum, right? It's in a downtrend still on the short-term, medium, and long-term basis. That hasn't changed, but it did have a huge upswing from around the low of 2,200 to a high of 3,300 or so. And we've given up a lot of those gains already in the last week or so. But as you can see, that was a big upswing that we had, and the time that we knew that this upswing was in trouble, and remember, markets obviously move in swings, even on the downswings, right? You've got a leg down, then an upswing, another leg down, and a smaller upswing. And on the downtrend, obviously, is what we've been seeing here. We're seeing lower highs and lower lows. Now, we're seeing a pullback here. We're giving up a lot of the gains from the last upswing, but still we are above the lows, the prior lows. So technically, if we find a bottom here on this pullback, before we reach and breach these lows, that would still be a sign of a positive bullish sign of potential trend reversal. Now, what we miss here on the Ethereum is that we didn't, on the last upswing, we didn't quite make a new higher high. We stopped just short of that. But if we make a higher low, that will be a positive indication or potential indication of a trend reversal. Bitcoin is slightly better with this setup in that it actually did make a higher high. It exceeded the prior high. It made a higher high on the last upswing. So that's a first step in trend reversal. And now it's pulling back, giving up some of those gains. It broke through the 40,000 level, which is unfortunate. I would have liked to see it hold it, but still it's trading above the last low. So we could still set a higher low, which would be a positive indication. But when do we get involved here on this pullback? Well, as you can see, I'd like to remind everyone, the basic trade setups. The trend typically gives you the direction of the trend of the trade. In this case, it's mostly down, a little bit neutral, but currently there are far more coins in the downtrend than uptrend. So the trend gives you the direction, and the momentum, as indicated either by RSI or the even better, I think, MACD, is helping or should help you with timing of your trade. So right now, clearly MACD is flashing sell. This is a bearish momentum inflection. So the time to get involved is when that reverses to a buy, or even better, when the MACD histogram begins to inflect, because MACD histogram begins to inflect even before the crossover happens. So to find such coins in the future or even today, you can go to Signal Summary, where we have several predefined screens for you that could be good starting points or building blocks for your strategies. So we're looking for the screener that identifies early momentum inflections. So either you can go with the fresh momentum crossover. This is a full-fledged crossover, meaning a buy flag. Well, there's only 8 of them. Far more are in the bearish crossover. 136 coins are in the bearish crossover, right? We can take a look at them. When you click on that and you look at the chart, all of these had a recent bearish MACD crossover as indicated in the MACD charts. Sell, sell, sell. So clearly bearish momentum all around for the most part. Now that's on the bearish side. On the bullish side, we'll check out some of those situations. But like I said, there's only 8 coins with a bull flag, recent bull flag, mind you, in the last 2 or 3 days. But even better indication of a potential inflection, bullish inflection coming, is the screener that we call the early momentum inflection. And there are 31 coins. We can take a look at those. So these are coins that still have a sell flag. Let's take a look at the candlestick. They still have a sell flag, right? Like this one here. Time or chrono. It still has a sell flag. Oh, it's had a sell flag for over a month now. But the downward momentum is easing up, is diminishing, and as you can see, these green bars are the MACD histogram bars. The momentum, although it hasn't crossed into a buy, it is getting very close. It's improving. So the declines are getting smaller and smaller in terms of the price, and the histogram is improving. So it's likely that we're going to get a bullish crossover here in a few days. So this could be an interesting sort of momentum swing situation, a bullish momentum swing situation. Similarly, this one, Elastos, as well. As you can see, the price is declining, but at a smaller a pace, and the momentum is improving represented by MACD histogram bars. So that's one way to find some trading ideas. Now, most of the coins are still in a downtrend. So we will have to wait for the trends to really fully reverse. As you can see here, if you look at how many coins are in an up versus downtrend, where 61 coins are in an uptrend across short-term, medium, and long-term basis, while over 1,200 coins are in a downtrend. So if you really want to trade with a trend, you have to basically short sell. You have to play the downtrend. That could continue. And the best time to sell or short sell is on the bounce up. That bounce up was about 10 days ago, and we talked about that bounce up in our blog on the 12th of February, where momentum began to fade near the resistance area. So right now we may have missed already. Right now may not be the best time to be shorting things, because we are already at support levels for a lot of them. But let's look at coins that have a sell flag, right? We looked at those already. There's a lot of them here. So these could be candidates for shorting, but a better timing was really already when during the upswing here, the momentum began to fade. And when we published the blog, it was on February 12th, where we talked about, momentum fading and an opportunity for shorting. In fact, we talked about Solana specifically as a shorting opportunity, and that's worked out really well. And there were also some helpful chart patterns that helped us identify some short selling opportunities. Solana here at the time was at 105. Now it's at 89 or 87. So it's a 20% gain in the last 10 days on the downside, meaning short selling. Similarly with Cardano, when this pattern came out, the price was trading in the channel down. It was rejected at the resistance level, and it was at $1.15. Now it's below $1. So at this point, the bearish crossover has happened. The prices could continue to go lower, but the timing is not as ideal as it was 10 days ago when the momentum was just inflecting. But if you still want to look for some short selling opportunities, I recommend our patterns detection system, where you can look at some potential bearish or bullish setups. But right now, with the coins trading mostly down, I think you ought to trade with the trend, generally speaking. And so you can look at either breakouts or emerging, but there's a lot of opportunities here on the short selling side. As you can see, particularly opportunities, you can evaluate the opportunities in terms of the profit potential. There's a 30% plus profit potential for shorting some of these coins here that are in a downtrend and are approaching or have broken through their support levels. So this is also a great tool for trading in the down market, is looking for some short selling opportunities. But if you really are looking for opportunities to go long, meaning buy, again, as I mentioned, you have to wait for that bullish momentum or fresh bullish momentum inflection. And for that, I recommend this particular filter that we found on the signal summary. Let's look at some of the other coins in that as well. Here's Harvest Finance. See, it has a sell flag, but the histogram is improving. Even CRTS, my goodness, had a lot of down days, but actually the momentum is starting to improve. So we could see a bounce up. Now, for a lot of these, the trend is down. So if we want to enhance this filter further, we may say, okay, let's just narrow it down to at least coins that have an uptrend on the long-term basis. So now we're down from 25 to 7, and we can look at those situations. Chrono is one of them that we mentioned already, Elastos, CRTS. So these coins are, at least on the long-term basis, still in an uptrend and have experienced a major correction, but the momentum is beginning to improve, as characterized by the MACD histogram. All right, everyone, I hope that helps with finding just the right trade setup. If you have any questions, please email us at invest@alphins.com. Thank you.